Hello and welcome to Tarot Pal again. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me on this channel right here, right now. I value, you deciding to show up for this read. Thursdays are very special days. Every week I do a pick a card reading using Sai Baba Oracle card messages. As some of you know, and maybe some of you don't know, Sai Baba is an ascended master. No matter which religion you belong with, he has never believed, that he's not associated with any one religion, rather known for his unifying values and the fact that he has always believed that all gods are the same and everybody should be given the due respect. So, what we do in this read today is I have 3 piles for you as usual. Like I said in my previous read as well, after this reading is done, by the end of the day today, you would have a snip of everything we would have discussed, a short summary posted on my Instagram account of Tarot Pal. You can always go there and save that to keep remembering the messages that you got from Baba for this particular week. These are timeless messages, of course, so whenever you find them, they would apply for you. There would be timestamps linked below, so once you've made your pile selection, you can definitely go to your pile. Because these are general readings, I would like to iterate here that please take only what resonates with you. This is not a one-on-one reading wherein I'm channeling into your energy. There are going to be many people who would select that particular pile that you're picking, and there is perhaps some message for you and something for someone else. So only take what resonates with you. Tarot and oracle cards are directive messages. These are not supposed to be taken as hard predictions. In fact, nothing in life should be hard predictions, but more like a guidance. There is something that you will find of value, I hope, for you here. If you do resonate, please type the comment Om Sai Ram in the comments so that I know you watched it and you liked it. And please do like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so that you do not miss out on any of the reads. So let me show you your 3 pile options. This is pile 1 with the stone Citrine. The reason you see those 2 already upside because I've taken the piles out and that's the underlying cards, okay? This is pile 2 with Tiger's Eye. And this is pile 3 with Lemon Quartz. I'm going to give you a minute to make your selection. And then you can go to the timestamp. You may feel attracted to more than one pile, which is absolutely fine because you might have multiple messages. Okay? I hope you've made your selection. See you at your pile. Hello and welcome to everybody who's picked pile 1. Again, just to reiterate, in a few hours, you will have a snip as a summary of everything that we are going to talk about here on my Instagram account of Tarot Pal Tarot Talks. You feel free to go there and save the read so that you can refer back to your reading throughout the week, okay? I have many messages coming in already for this pile, so let's begin. Baba wants to remind you, first of all, that karma, and how do you understand and see karma, is a topic that we want to first talk about here. It's not a punishment. I know you've read a lot of quotes and a lot of Pinterest quotes that talk about karma as if it's a jailer who comes in and gives you punishments and is keeping a scorecard for you. Sure, to a certain extent, that's the relative context of what karma is, but karma is a continuous cycle, okay? Karma also talks about that it is not, at every minute, what you're doing, what you're thinking, and the seeds you put in today are going to become the karma for tomorrow. What you're doing today is you're sowing seeds for karma to be received tomorrow. So it's not like you've done something wrong in the past. There is always a punishment coming. You might have done 10 other things which has already balanced that particular bad karma or cleared the bad karma. In another way that I want to talk about the card of karma here or karam here or work here is there is a need for this pile to balance between the law of attraction, wherein when we are not in action, we are just basically thinking about the things we want and the goals we set, versus when we are actually in the action mode with the Santulan card, which is the balance card in between. So somewhere throughout this week or right now as an energy, you need to balance between How much visualization and manifestation are you focusing on versus how much work you're putting in? If you're doing either or in excess, that's where you need to bring in some balance. Okay, if you're trying to do everything and you're in a very action mode, and you want to take up every task and you feel that you have to do it all alone, that's an extreme of it. And then if you're leaving everything to the universe, I've just set up my manifestation techniques, I've done what I had to do, I've put up all my rituals, now God will help me. Baba wants to remind you that the path is yours. You have to walk on it, you have to work on it, and you have to create a balance around that. So a core message here, the first message is create a balance between action and inaction. Okay. This card always talks about promises that you might have made, which you have either forgotten or have not been fulfilled. In case you or somebody in your family have had made some promises, some mannats, some, in case, I'm just explaining this in detail because not everybody on YouTube who'll watch it will understand it. Sometimes we are in pain or we are in sorrow, and we tell God or we tell the universe or we tell the divine that if this works out for me, I'm going to do this for you. And if this works out for me, I'm going to stop drinking. If this, these promises that we are making, trying to bribe the universe to get us what we want. And then we forget, okay? Or then sometimes our family makes these promises and nobody actually talks about these promises. These are pending karmas, or these are pending promises that needs to be cleared. Now, it's absolutely possible that you don't remember any such incident, but with this card showing up, how I always, what works for me and how I take this card is, today is Thursday, and if it's too late for you, never mind, we can do this on the next Thursday. On the next Thursday, I would just take any sweets and I'll donate it to Baba, and I'll give it to Baba, and I will ask him to forgive and consider it as the offerings for whatever wishes I had put out or whatever wishes my family might have put out. Okay, not just me and my immediate family. Sometimes people who have passed away, people who are long gone, your ancestors, your grandparents, they might have had some wishes which they could not complete, or they might have made some promises of some offerings which they could not give. This message always talks about to clear that depth, to clear that promise that they might have made, and offer it to Baba with that devotion of I can't remember what promises were made, but please consider this as the offering, that as a balance of whatever must have been left. And also try and give at least to 4, 5, 11, whatever you can manage. Feed feed people who are homeless, or give food to the needy, because nothing pleases not just Baba. I mean, whichever deity, whichever God, whichever religion you're from, there is no better work and there's no karma clearing than helping those who need the help. Okay, so this card talks about, do spend some time, sometime in the next 7 days, to clear out this karma and fulfill any promises left. Moving on, this card talks about Baba has noticed your hard work. Okay, I know you've been working hard on something. We'll get to this card and we'll talk about the traumas and the fears that you faced, how you've battled through and you've survived through the hard times. These efforts are not gone wasted. Okay, he has made note of this. Your karma has not gone wasted. Your law of attraction wishes are being noted, and abundance will come in. Okay. With everything that Baba says, you need to have patience. Okay, Shraddha and Saburi are two phases I love of his, because they talk about faith and patience. You need to have both of them hand in hand. So this is a confirmation as the center of the card that abundance is coming to you. Clear out any past promises that you might have made, because these also become obstacles to receive what you are meant to receive, because when you last time received something, you forgot, okay, your promise. So we need to clear that out. And yes, there is good news coming. I mean, this card talks about festivals. In case you are from a community where there's a new, where there is a festival around the corner, make sure you celebrate it. Make sure you, again, help people in need during that time. And good news, good celebratory times are on the way, okay? Tune into that energy. This coming right under the law of attraction and then the King of Cups here. It's a lot to do with emotionally being at a space wherein you're really happy and grateful for everything that Baba is doing for you. So good times are coming, abundance is on the way. Clear out your karma, make sure you have your promises that you've done. If you already remember what they were, I understand due to the pandemic, a lot of us are not able to visit the pilgrimage sites we wanted to go to. We can't really do a lot of things, but you can always feed someone who needs to be fed, right? You can always take care of a dog on the road. You can do something smaller and do it with the same intention that I'm fulfilling that promise that I made, and ask the Ascended Master to take this offering and accept it for, as a compensation, if I may say so. Moving on. There has been something which you've intuitively been aware of, or you would be made aware of. You would gain insight through your dreams, through your journaling, through a meditative state, which again talk about the abundance is coming in, the emotional fulfillment you seek is coming in. What we do need to focus on, if possibly can, Six of Swords talks about a card wherein, if you see the girl is running away, she's escaped something which was scary. She's escaped something which was, the card before this is the Five of Swords, which talk about conflicts and loss and pain. She's out of it. And it's funny how in every pile, if you've not seen our previous reads, the June monthly reading and the career reading, there is a heavy PTSD that shows up in tarot these days, and rightly so, because in the collective, while for a lot of us the worst is over, there has been a lot of loss that we've seen. There's been a lot of pain and fear that we've experienced. And I just saw 1111 on my timer by saying that, by the way, guys. Okay. And emotionally, again, the healing, Moon talks about intuition. This card talks about intuition. And then King of Cups is all about the water always represents your emotions and your intuitions. There's still a need to heal emotionally, okay? So you're out of the dark waters, that is for sure. Your abundance is coming in. Better times are coming in. But Baba wants you to focus on your emotional healing, okay? And for you, I would definitely recommend listening to his songs. If you are a believer of Sai Baba, I think there's nothing more calming and peaceful and healing than hearing his devotional songs and reading his books. But in case you're not very attached, or you don't know much about Sai Baba and you don't really attach to that energy, whichever kind of music, okay, helps you feel connected to the source, that will be great. The underlying card for all the piles that has come out is meditation, okay? So even if you're not really somebody who's religious or does not believe in connecting to divine through idol worship or through any other guru, and you are a spiritualist or you believe in nature or whatever you believe in, then meditation is a way for you to connect to the divine and get the messages directly yourself. There would be people who are extremely intuitive around you, and they would give you, if you already have friends or family members who typically tend to give you great advice, this week you can reach out to them for help, because I have the High Priestess and the King of Cups, who are both very strong with their emotional quotient. They're very strong with understanding how to navigate through the emotional complexities of life, and Baba asks you to reach out to them, and he'll help you through them, okay? This card also talks about, and I don't always talk about, I during these readings, whatever messages come in, it's not, I don't restrict it to career or spirituality or love, whatever shows up. Some of you are very intuitively aware that you're going to come in union with people you love or people you've lost, and you're moving towards them. If you see the imagery of how it's flowing, she's seeing it in her crystal bowl, and it's a vision. And in the vision, she's walking or running or escaping to this king. Okay, so some of you, whether if you're in separation or if you've been through some hard times, in case due to the lockdown, some of you have not managed to, get to your family, Baba assures you that you're getting there. Okay, this is a card of travel. This is a card of traveling to far off places. Somebody might come and visit you. You might go and visit someone. There's a water sign energy which is very strong, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. If any of you have picked this file, that's just your affirmation. Don't worry if you're not one of those three. The zodiacs don't always mean, from the sense of your sun sign, and that's what's going to show up, but that's just an energy I saw, so I'm just confirming that for you. A great message for you, a great ritual for you to do would definitely be all sorts of water healing, because I have high water elements here. So listening to water meditations, focusing on your heart chakra meditation, the color green, the color yellow, the color pink. If you could get these more around you, they would give you the sense of healing. Hydration, of course, is very important with the moon showing up twice here. Are you drinking enough water? Because, I mean, all that we are is how we are feeling inside and what we put into our bodies. That was your message for the week from Sai Baba. I hope it helped you, and I hope you found some answers for yourself. If you did, please do hit the like button and subscribe. Do remember to type Om Sai Ram if that worked out for you. Thank you. Take care. See you tomorrow. Om Sai Ram. Hello and welcome pile 2. Before we proceed, just to remind you, once this reading is over, in a few hours, I will post a snip of this reading, a short summary on my Instagram account, Tarot Pal Tarot Talks. You can go to the account, follow the account and save the particular read so that you can keep circling back to it within the app throughout the week to remember the messages that Baba gave you. If the message does resonate, please do type Om Sai Ram in the comment section. That will tell me that you got something of value from it, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe if it does help you. Okay, let's get to your messages. A lot of messages coming in and we got to scold you a little, so I'll start with that. First of all, if you think that it's not going to work, it's not going to work. Okay, there's a lot of self-doubt here that I can sense coming in, and Baba wants you to first of all cancel, clear and delete the negative thinking, the negative people around you, people who tell you that it's not going to work out, the naysayers. Just cancel, clear, delete. Okay, we don't need that energy right now. We don't need people criticizing us. But more importantly, are you criticizing yourself too much? That is one main point to start with. Believe in yourself, think positive thoughts for positive things to happen. The next message here is, are you learning from your past experiences? Because until you learn the lesson, the universe will keep repeating the same incidents for you in different shapes and forms. Baba is a teacher who will never, spoon feed you. No teacher, no great teacher spoon feeds you. He just keeps giving you the same lesson until you really understand it. So this week, whatever has not worked out, without getting into the negative nostalgia of the victim mindset or the self-pity, can you do a genuine introspection? Can you do some shadow work, which is what I was going to come to. This pile needs to do some shadow work. If you don't know what that is, please go to Google and understand what shadow work healing is. If you'd like me to make a separate video on it, please comment below. I'd like to share the details. I know it's definitely very, very important. It's a part of psychology. Some of you, if you know psychology, would understand what shadow work is all about. So one of the core messages that Baba wants to bring to you is introspect and understand what patterns are you a part of and what role are you playing in creating these, in keeping these patterns active and not learning your lesson. Journaling, of course, is a great idea to do this as well, because when we journal, we can go back and see what we were feeling at a particular point of time, and then understand how that emotion manifested into perhaps a negative experience or perhaps not such a great experience. You're also being asked to keep your patience and believe in divine timing. If you're waiting for something to happen, obsessing over it is not helping you. Okay, it's rather delaying it. When we obsessively, desperately want something to happen, it never does, right? Why? Because the emotion that we are in is desperation, is lack, is fear, is demand, is almost sometimes even entitlement, and then we get angry that I'm not getting it. So surrender. You've asked for it, it's been heard, and then believe that it's coming, and know that Baba will bring it to you when you're ready. Baba will bring it to you when it's the right time for you. Okay, don't question the timing of the universe. Unlike us, it's never late, it's always on time. So believe in that timing of the universe is the next message I have for you. Don't make too many assumptions, okay, is the next message. I have experienced this in the past, hence it means this. These are all assumptions, okay? You're living in the past, which again moves back to the cancel, clear, delete. The past is no longer active unless you're keeping it active. The past mistakes, the past things that have happened bad to you, you're just keeping them active by repeatedly thinking that that's what the present and the future is going to be like, right? So instead of making assumptions, this week try and focus on what is factual. Okay, even when you're at work, a project comes up, don't get extremely optimistic, don't get extremely pessimistic. Be realist and let's see what facts do I have. Do I have any data points that support what I'm trying to achieve here? And then from a standpoint of factual information, of rational mind, of not making the problem bigger than it actually needs to be, step forward. Okay. In the book of life, it would be very boring as a human experience if we only had great experiences show up for us. And I know it's hard to believe for some of us that, what, are you crazy? It would have been so great if I only had good things coming to me. You wouldn't know that it's good things anymore then, would it? Because you don't have a differentiator. I mean, how do you know white is white, and if there was no black or if there was no other color, then there's no color. It's just a colorless world, and the only color that exists is white, right? As when we came into this world, when we came into this 3D world, we wanted certain experiences. We wanted to experience certain contrast, as I like to call it, in order for us to truly appreciate the contrast of that experience, right? So don't curse the not so great experiences that you've had, because you signed up for it, you asked for it, and your soul is going to get to the next level because of these experiences that have shaped you into becoming what you are. This card underlying here is the devil, which beautifully sums up to this. I want to show you this card here once. Okay, and the devil here doesn't mean an evil man, okay, because the devil lives in us and the darkness has to exist in balance with the light. If you see this card, he has money here and he has yummy sweets there, and then there are these cats who are asking these children to not listen to the devil. He has this red tail here. So something in you is very connected to the light. You know what the right answer is, okay? You know intuitively that these experiences, these devil experiences, are also important for you to know who the saint is, okay? So don't curse these experiences that you've had. Instead, be grateful for them. And if that's too much to ask for you right now, to be grateful for something that is bad that has happened to you, and I'm not trying to victim shame here in any manner. Your pain, of course, I understand it has its due place and it has to be given time for healing, but don't expect only great things in life. Then you're missing out the point of a human experience then, if you're only trying to get the good things in life. Moving on, Zarurat Mando ki Madad, which means helping those who are in need. And sometimes we think that by this we only mean the poor and the needy. Sure, that is of course included. But more importantly, because of this negativity card showing up and Purnavati showing up, maybe there's a funny irony that I notice happens often in social media. We are ready to help strangers more than we are ready to help our people, if you've ever noticed it. And I understand it comes from, I know the relative, he's not a nice person, and we have so many biases that we hold against the people we know because we know them, right? But there are so many people we don't know and we help them, and maybe they are as bad as the person you chose not to help. So don't create filters in your mind. Baba asks you to, when you're helping, just help. Okay, if somebody comes to you for asking for help, if you can possibly do it, and it's not, and I'm not saying help toxic people or keep toxic people in your life, that is not the message here at all, but don't create your judgments and your layers of filters of who I'm going to help versus who I'm not. If you can possibly help them, help that person, okay? If they are in need and somebody throughout this week comes up to you and asks you for something, if you can possibly do it without, sacrificing on your boundaries, go ahead and, give them what they need. Don't try to be the judge of the situation, okay? Next, we move on to a beautiful card as represented here, the Ten of Swords. In the Rider's-Waite, traditional Rider's-Waite tarot deck, I don't really like that card much because it has the same meaning, but it has a very dark imagery. I think the artist here has done a wonderful job. If you notice, Ten of Swords typically talks about endings, betrayals, and falling downs and breakups. But there is a bigger message here of, with every Ten of Swords, is the rising of the sun. So if you notice in this imagery, the guy is running away. This is the guy who's betrayed him, and he's been stabbed at the back many times. There is spinal issues. That's a very strong message with Ten of Swords. Do not ignore your back pain this week. Work out, exercise, because it is going to escalate. Okay, your physical pain will escalate. Don't think negative thoughts around it as well, because this came under the cancel, clear, delete and the assumptions. Don't assume the worst, don't assume the best. Again, stay factual and take an actual action to rise again, to stand up again. Because I'm going to go back to the Ten of Swords card. The sun is rising on this man. He's already reaching out. His back is broken, but he's not given up. He's already reaching out to the broom, in which in this case represents his exit from this situation, and he's ready to. The sun is shining. The cat intuitively is ready to help him. He's going after that, and cats don't forget. Okay, probably this cat belongs to the guy, so that's his intuition. This card talks about you can rise again. Okay, no matter what has happened to you, if you can rise again, there is sun coming up, the worst is over. 9 of Swords is a worse card than 10 of Swords, because 9 of Swords means 10 of Swords is coming. But when it's 10 of Swords, it's done. The betrayal has already happened, and now things can only get better from here. But before they get better, you need to learn. This goes back beautifully to the, I love how tarot and oracle syncs together when we get these reads, and repetition will happen if you don't learn from the experiences that you've already had. Okay, Hermit talks about a card when he goes into isolation and he considers, this is wisdom. Owl is wisdom, and this is a fire ritual ongoing. So it's burning away the painful experiences. The negative thinking is being burned. You have to forgive the person, but remember the lesson. That's a message for you guys this week. Okay, forgive the person, forgive the experience. Don't hold that in your heart, because that's going to just attract more and more negativity. But introspect and understand, what was it trying to teach you? Okay, what did you learn from this? Why did you make the mistakes that you made? Is there something that you are playing as a part again, as a pattern which keeps repeating itself? Because when you do, both of these women, if you see, there's beautiful serenity on their face. They're very happy, they're very content with what they're doing, but they're very different surroundings. She's in the forest, she's in the beach. You have a lot of people in the beach. Typically, forest is a place of isolation, right? Once you have understood why you had to live through these experiences, if you see how beautifully it falls under the book of life, which does not have to have only great experiences, you'll get to your place of happiness. 9 of Cups is a wish fulfillment, is great things coming, which talks about the divine timing. Okay, at the divine timing, whatever you have wished for is going to happen. The crab is always talking about emotions. Cancer energy very strong here. If you're a Cancerian watching this is your confirmation. If you're a Virgo, I have a very strong Virgo energy as well. You will get to that place of absolute emotional fulfillment, but that emotional fulfillment will only come once you really know what makes you happy, right? Once you've introspected on it, and once you know which cup is going to make you happy. And a beach is a place where there are people, where many others will join you in. So this week's message, I hope that I can sum that up for you. Cancel your negative thinking. Learn from your mistake. Believe that in the right timing, your wishes will get fulfilled. Don't try to get only great experiences in life, because that makes life boring. Instead, introspect and learn what these experiences try to teach you. Don't go by assumptions, go by facts. Okay? Help everybody without trying to create filters in your mind, and know that the worst is over. Know that you're going to rise. I hope the messages resonated. If it did, please type Om Sai Ram. It helps me know that it helped, it reached you and you felt connected to the message. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome, my pile threes. Before we begin, I'd like to remind you that at the end of this reading, in a few hours, I will post a snip summary of this reading on Instagram, and you can go to Tarot Pal Tarot Talks, find the summary there, save it, and then keep referring to it throughout the week as and when you need Baba's reminders, okay? Let's start with your reading. This one almost is a story, okay? And it's beautifully flowing in. You've experienced pain, and I want you to acknowledge that yes, the past has hurt, and yes, there has been pain, but no pain is without a purpose, okay? I know it's a very Pinterest statement and people don't like to hear it when they are in pain, but pain has purpose, okay? You were not given any mountain that you could not move. And stop thinking that, sometimes people get very negative about when they experience pain, that you are being punished, that Baba has abandoned you, that nobody is taking care of you. Don't get into this mind space of that's not the purpose of why you get pain. You don't get the hard lessons from the teacher because the teacher hates you. unless that's a bad teacher, and Baba is not a bad teacher. So you get the harder lessons because the teacher believes in you. The teacher knows that you have more potential, and only when it gives you the harder test will you stretch yourself and reach to the next higher potential. Okay, so you are that kid of that child. You are that favorite kid of the teacher, of who they hope to grow higher, who they know has a potential to go higher than what you think you can reach. And all this pain is going to make sense, is the first message that Baba has. So stop making assumptions about yourself and also about people around you. Okay, this card also talks about don't make assumptions about people. Okay, sometimes we paint rose colored images on people. Sometimes we make them the monsters of our life. Somebody could be a demon, somebody might not be a demon with the devil card underlined. But either way, you're not asked to make assumptions. Focus on what they're doing. Focus on their actions. Be more factual. If you had a desire to, you were confused between 2 and 3, you perhaps have messages in the pile 2 as well. So very important, again, like I said, to pile 2, stick with what you see. Okay, our life is not happening in our minds. I mean, sure, we visualize and manifestation and all of that comes in, but life is happening in the 3D, and we have to take our actions and we have to walk the path on what we see right here, right now. Instead of making something look worse than it is or better than it is, stay in the center and take your actions like that. Change is definitely coming, and that's another message from Baba. Good times are going to come, and nothing in life is permanent. Okay, somewhere I think this file needs to make peace with the death here. You are going to experience a lot of transformations throughout life. You're going to go through various phases of life, and that is the joy of life, right? You don't want to stay in that stagnant same energy, and I feel some of you really want to, you get too comfortable at a place and then you get into that fear of, I don't want to move from here. But that's the opposite point of life. Life is day and night, winters and summers. One season can't always stay. And the more you make peace with it, that there's not one season, but many seasons. And that's the whole point of me coming here. And I wanted to experience these many seasons. Life will start becoming easier for you. Okay. This card always says, again, Baba is not a spoon-feeding teacher. Okay. He will give you clues. He'll keep on reminding you through various experiences what the message is, but you have to take the action. Okay, nobody's going to come and take the action for you, and he's not going to get into your karma and your destiny cycle by moving things around. Things you shouldn't be doing, stop doing them. And I don't have to tell you what they are. Everybody has a different thing that they're very aware of that they shouldn't be doing, but they keep doing it for whatever reasons, because they are in a comfort space, because they don't want to change it, because they have been this for the longest period of time. They've known whatever you're selling yourself. I can't do it. It's not me anymore. I've grown too old for it. This is the one I hear the most. After a certain age, people can't change that. I really don't understand where that comes from. Every year my life, I keep on going from one year to the other. I'm also getting older, but I keep on changing. So I don't know where that notion comes from. That's basically talking about, are you killing your learning agility? That's the question to ask yourself then. Because we don't die of age, technically. We die of, our life is over when we stop learning. Our life is over when we stop changing. So change is something that you should always be open to and accepting for and excited for, and transformation is what this life is all about, is a message with the death card. Death does not mean literal death. Death means letting the past die out so that the real happiness. 10 of Cups. This card has, 10 of Pentacles. This card has money, this card has family, this card has dogs, this card has loyalty. Everything that you've ever wanted is here, only if you're ready to let the past go. Okay, that is one strong message from Baba. What you want will come, but be open to change. Okay, be open to change, and then what you want can happen. Okay, don't try to be a control freak around the situation. Surrender, flow, and what you want will immediately start happening. Okay, one strong message is in case you're anxious, okay, for someone's health, for something in your life, or will it work out or will it not work out. It's all okay. I just want you to repeat this throughout the day today. All is well. Everything always works out for me. One of my favorite affirmations from Abraham Hicks. If you don't know who that is, Google that. That's your life-changing thing that I'll give you then today. everything is always working out for me. If you're somebody who struggles with a lot of anxiety and you overthink, you'll find that even if you go to YouTube and you type "Everything is always working out for me" by Abraham Hicks, there's a 15 to 20 minutes seminar snip that you'll find, a video recording. Listen to it and just close your eyes and listen to it. You'll know what magic I'm talking about. If you hear it, please type it in the comments. Everything is always working out for me. Claim this, affirm this. Everything is always working out for me. Act as if the universe is rigged in your favor, because this card talks about, you know whose child you are, right? Do you know how Baba feels when you're sitting like an anxious baby, worrying about this is not going to happen, that is not going to happen? That means you're forgetting whose child you are. That means you've forgotten who protects you. That means you've forgotten how powerful Baba is. I've shared his 11 promises on my Instagram page today. You might want to go and read those 11 promises, because he clearly says, if you're his devotee, how can you have anxiety? How can you do that? Because he promised you that he's taking care of you. Then do you not believe in his promises? Okay, so believe that everything is okay and everything is always working out for you. Okay, I hope to see some comments around everything is always working out for you. This card moves on to, again, Bharosa and Astha, very beautifully moved on to faith and patience. Okay, trust and devotion. I want you to, give yourself 5 minutes to really connect to those emotions within you. And now I can see why I was so, nudged to make the post that I made today about his 11 promises. I think all 3 piles should definitely go and visit and read those 11 promises of his, because it'll calm down a lot of your anxieties that you're facing. It'll make you feel, it'll give you a revision, if I may, on faith, on what faith is. Faith is not that things will always work out how I want them to work out. Faith is that however things will work out, I will be happy, I will be okay, and things will always work out in my favor. That is faith, and that is what Baba wants to remember, wants you to remember today. 10 of Pentacles, as I said, great things will come to you, and they're coming to you. Okay, just get out of this energy, as I said, of holding on, and you really have an all-rounded life ahead. Okay, Baba wants to assure you that you're not going to miss out on anything. If you think that you're missing out on something, eventually with the right timing, with the right people, okay, you will celebrate, and you will have many reasons to celebrate soon, because you'll have a well-rounded life. Okay, this also talks about connect with the women in your life, connect, and you don't always have to reach out face to face. This is a time of the internet. Set up some time for your best friends to connect over the internet and drink together and have fun together, be merry. What are you so sad about, right? If you're alive during a pandemic, if you're well during a pandemic, there is no bigger blessing that you might have had. Celebrate. If you're not okay but you're still alive, you still have something to celebrate. If you've lost someone close, and I want you to understand that death, that ending, okay, Baba has understood that. Baba is with you in that pida, and I want you to remember one of his promises that talks about, give your burdens and pain to him, he will heal you. Okay, you don't have to bear this burden alone. You have people around you who will be there to help you and support you, and you don't have to do any of this alone. I hope these messages helped you. If they did resonate, please do like, share and subscribe. It's extremely motivating for me, and other people get to see similar content, because then YouTube picks up that algorithm. Take care. Have a great day. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for your time.